Howdy, today's video, I'll be teaching you guys how to make good ambience for your Roblox Studio games. So basically, by ambience, I mean the character of the place. Like, I think the definition is literally the character or atmosphere of a place. So like, if you have, or you want to make like a scary, mysterious game, you really want to be able to capture that scary, mysterious atmosphere slash ambience. So I'll teach you guys how to do stuff like that, and I'll make it quick. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. So I'm gonna need a place to give ambience to. So I'm just gonna build a quick little like grassy, hilly place. I'll time lapse it so you guys see exactly what I did. Then I'll show you guys how I would make it be more ambient, if that makes any sense at all. So watch this. Now, I will not lie, this is not my proudest work, but this little fella here is pretty happy, so it can't be all that bad. But yeah, this is my little map, if you can even call it that. Don't do the word map dirty like that. But I'm gonna show you guys how to control the feel. So right now it's pretty bland, and it doesn't look all too good, but hey, from this perspective, it could look a lot worse. Now the first thing for ambience, to really make the world feel more full, so since we're seeing from this perspective, what we can do is take a few of these trees and put them outside of the map. Now developers do this to give the illusion that, oh, the map's a lot bigger than it is, rather than you being able just to clearly see that, oh, there's nothing beyond that. So I'll just add a few trees. I know they're all the same tree, but you can add a bunch of different trees or just different objects in general outside of the bounds, which will make it look as if there's a whole world out there rather than you just existing on a Minecraft dirt block. Now, from this perspective, it's horrendous. This is really ugly. But if you go down to this little dude's perspective and take a look, wow, it's beautiful. He doesn't even realize he's basically a hamster in a cage. We made it look pretty, but this dude literally lives on a Minecraft dirt block. So, step 1 of ambience, make the world feel full. I know that's a little self-explanatory. If you want your game to look good, make it look good. That's basically what I just said. But I really mean it. Like, you don't have to build a whole map. If players can't really see it, you don't have to fully build it. But adding little touches like things outside, just so it peeks over like this hill, makes the world feel a little more full. So keep that in mind when you're making games. You don't have to build all of that, but you can add just a few things out of bounds, just that like players can see them, and it will just make it feel like the world's a bit bigger. Now, the second part of ambience is the lighting. You want to capture a feeling. So if you're trying to make like a happy kind of place, you want to use brighter colors. So I'm going to lighting. I'm going to add a color correction effect. And if I wanted to, I could just up the brightness, up the saturation, and just to give it like, here, we'll look at this view. Just to give it a bit more of a feel, we can go to terrain, add clouds, and we will just make it so the clouds are pretty dense, yeah. So this is like a happy looking, pretty, like, this looks nice. It has an okay feeling to it. But if we wanted to change that, make it a bit more eerie, what we could do is go to color correction, and instead of 0.5 saturation, just make it negative 0.5. And then we'll add some contrast, and we'll lower the brightness a bit. Hell, we can even remove a bit more color. And instead of that happy blue sky, we'll delete that. We can go into our models on our toolbox and just do black skybox. And then for clouds, if you want, you can just increase that. And by that I mean density. Make it a bit darker. And of course, tweak the lighting a little bit more. Oh, maybe I'll make it bright. But now I just took all the soul that was previously there out of this environment just by tweaking the color correction. Get rid of the color correction, get rid of the lighting, fix the clouds, and instead of getting rid of the color correction, just change the saturation to 0.5, Already, this is like Roblox Simulator. You see what I mean? Like, you can change the entire vibe of a game just by doing simple things like what I just showed you. Just changing around the colors and the lighting type, like how bright things are, really colors and brightness. You can control how a game feels. So this is kind of like, this makes me a bit uncomfortable. I would not want to be here. If I go back to how it was, this makes me kind of happy. Like I would love to be in a place like this. Maybe add a little contrast, make the colors pop a bit more, but this is nice. So we're going to use this one. We're going to make a cute little happy world. I don't want to live in Doom world, but I will show you guys like how to really decorate a Doom world, how to add scary sounds so your Doom world really invokes doom and destruction and despair. But for now, we're going to do happy. So I'm actually not done building this map. There's something I want to add. So it seems I've flooded the entire world trying to add a little like lake looking thingy, a puddle. It's a lagoon, not a puddle. But basically, I added this. And I don't know why I started recording. I'm not done adding it. I'm just gonna, there we go. So this is our generic janky looking waterfall. Now believe it or not, water in your game also controls the ambient. So if you go to terrain, you can change everything about your water. Me personally, I like to just make my water, I like to keep my water as water and not as whatever this gelatinous substance is. So I'm gonna keep these wave size down. God, the grammar 100. And really all I do is change the transparency. I make it as transparent as it can be. So this looks nice. So in terms of atmosphere, I feel like I've captured a kind of cute atmosphere, or at least the map looks semi-decent. Now, another thing you can add to the atmosphere of your game is literally the atmosphere in Roblox Studio lighting. So if you go to lighting, to atmosphere, you can just increase that density, give it a nice little fog. There's a few other settings, but I really don't mess with those. Like you can add a glare and a haze, but I don't know. It feels like I'm ascending to Jesus right now. So I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to heaven right now. All right. So this looks nice. Now I know I said that was the last thing. Oh, voice crack. I know I said that was the last thing I was adding to the Roblox Studio atmosphere in terms of building. But if you add little things like dust particles, which you could just go to the toolbox, dust particles, make sure there's no scripts in anything you add. Otherwise, the virus man's going to get you. But yes, look at this. There's like a bunch of little orbs. So we'll just drag this over. And we'll scale it up a little bit. Look at that. We have like little dust particle orbs. So let's get rid of this thing. This thing's killing the view. All right. And I don't need this little guy anymore. So say goodbye, guys. He's gone. All right. So now we have little dust particles floating in the air, which adds to the atmosphere. But if you play this game, it's going to feel empty as hell. It's going to feel really empty, actually, because there's no sounds. So let's add some sounds. Now, if you're still here after all of my crappy explanationing of how to make atmosphere, thank you. So adding sounds is really easy. All we're going to do is insert a part, put that part in a folder, and we'll just go to the part. We'll name it, I want this to be river sound. So I'm going to do river sound in case you want to program it later. I'm going to name the folder ambient sounds. So for this part, I'm going to anchor it. I'm going to turn off can collide and can query so it doesn't affect anything. Like if we shoot rays, it won't bother it. Then I'm just going to kind of drag this a little over the river or the lagoon. I'm going to set transparency to 1. And now we can actually add a sound. So I'm going to use janky toolbox sounds. So I'm going to go to the audio and I'm just going to look up river. Why not? So let's listen to a few of these. That has music. Now this is kind of the sound I want. So I'm just going to insert this. I don't know what the Molino River is, but I'm just going to name this river sound. Just sound. Now, you're going to want to make sure this is looped, of course, playing, and then set roll-off mode to inverse tapered. Then we're going to set the max roll-off distance to be about 600. I want you to be able to hear it from kind of a good, here, we'll do it. So this is in studs. I'm going to just put it at 200 studs. And then I'm going to set the volume to 0.3. If we go and we play here, you can hear where the river sounds are coming from. Now, it's a little janky. So the sound is obviously coming from the middle. That's no biggie. We'll just duplicate it, put it a little over here, and we'll play here. But you'll notice a problem. The audio sounds so bizarre. Why does it sound like that? Well, that's because both these audios are playing at the exact same time. So just go to time position and crank that up a little bit. And now when you play it, that sound, that weird like double sound, is a little bit mitigated. We have sounds everywhere for the water now, which sounds pretty nice. And just so you can hear the water a bit more, I'm going to crank both of these up to 350 on the roll-off distance. And these are done. We can copy the river sound, or at least one of the river sounds. And actually, I lied. We'll just add a sound into Workspace. We'll name this Wind Ambience. And instead of our audio, we'll just look up for Wind Ambience or Outside Ambience. This will work. So I'll just go here, press this little magnifying glass, copy asset ID. God, I'm not able to talk like a human right now. Holy. And I'm just gonna put that sound ID in. Now we don't have to do inverse tapered on this because since it's in the workspace, it will play like inside the player's head. So I'm just gonna lower it to be about 0.2. And let's just press play. And I forgot to make it actually play. Don't forget, looped, playing, play here. Now, we just need to add some wind ambience because this is supposed to be wind ambience, but no, this is outside ambience. So let's get that wind ambience in. So we'll go to toolbox, wind ambience, wind. Oh, there's a wind ambience. Now I know it says winter ambience, but this can work. So I'm just gonna copy that asset ID, paste that into our wind ambience, make the wind ambience 0.2 on the volume thingy. And that's the name. I changed the name. I meant to replace the ID. All right, we'll make it, what's this other one? Yeah, they're both 0.2. I'll make this 0.1. And it's a cool thing you can add called an equalizer sound effect, where you can kind of just like mess around and control how this ambient sounds. So I'm going to make it 0.5 on the volume thingy. And I'm just going to make this sound a little better. There we go. So it's like kind of muffled now, but it will work. It'll, trust me. Trust the process, guys. It's going to sound great. Here you guys go. Happy little ambient world with plenty of happy little ambient. Now, if you wanted to make this scary and terrible, all you have to do is sounds that are slowed down are a bit more offsetting. So I'm just going to go to playback speed and I'm going to do 0.5. Then for the lighting, I'm just gonna negative 0.5. We're gonna do negative 0.7. We're gonna turn that contrast up, that brightness down maybe, and then we're gonna make the clouds cover the whole sky. We'll make the clouds dark too. Now all we have to do is replace that skybox. So we'll get rid of the skybox. We'll add on our black skybox from the toolbox. And okay, it's too dark now. So let's let in a little bit of light. All right, now we tweak our color correction. We make it bright. Turn the contrast. That's too pretty. Get rid of the sun rays. We don't need sun rays. So intensity. Okay, I guess I cannot get rid of the sun rays. So what we would do is we'll just make it nighttime. And for coolness, actually, what does this look like without the clouds? That is a lot nicer without the clouds. And just to make the actually, I like the little dust particles. All right, so we have this like kind of just uncomfortable world. I'm gonna go to the water and I'm gonna turn the speed down so it's like And let's see about the transparency. There we go. Water looks a bit more viscous. And the sounds are not warped enough, so let's just let's turn that playback speed pretty low. And let's add one more ambience. Scary ambience. These all suck. Hold on. Let's see what about cave ambience. Okay, that will work. We'll just add one of those, and we'll put the volume to be 0.1. Blooped playing, and we'll just slow down that playback speed. And here you guys go. Now the water sounds too inviting, like I'd swim in that. So let's ruin the water. Let's just go to river sound, the sound, and we'll add a pitch sound effect, and we'll just drop the octave a bunch. Then we'll paste this onto the other one. And there you guys go. Everything sounds like a tub draining. But yeah, there goes our beautiful, happy Wonderland. It's now the pits of hell. So, you guys wanted this, and now I'm stuck here because of you. And we're back to Happy Land. This Roblox game right here called Apple Pie by Chairman of Chairs. Like, this game has some really good atmosphere. It makes you feel unsettled. It makes you feel, it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it goes from funny to get me out of here really fast. So, yeah, as you can see, like, look at this. This game has wonderful Goku. This game has wonderful atmosphere. So definitely check this out. I messaged this guy a while ago and he actually responded. So thank you, random chairman of chairs. If you guys enjoyed this video, I'm glad. More content's coming, so keep your eyes out for that. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Bye-bye.